And in the 90s, when the whole economy had collapsed, like the solution to the lift issue, like to maintaining the lift and getting somebody out to maintain it, was to put a coin box in there. Hello, I'm Sean Basie with Facetious Guide, and I'm back in action. So after a few weeks, okay, maybe a month of a break, which it wasn't really a break because I was working pretty hard. We had just moved from Belgium here to Tbilisi to catch you up, and there was a lot of things that was involved with that moving, which was, as I referred to last time, we had to pack all of our stuff up in Belgium, put it on a little elevator, outdoor elevator outside of the apartment, put it on a truck. The truck went to Antwerp. That stuff was packed into a marshutka. A marshutka is like a big utility van. The utility van was driven onto a ship. The ship was sailed across the sea all the way to Batumi, and then the marshutka rolled off the ship and came here, and then we had to hire some guys to help take up the supplies into the apartment, and then we had to reassemble everything. So IKEA furniture that we had in Belgium is now here, perfectly reassembled actually. So it was easier to take apart, easy to put back together. So if you move often and you want to keep your furniture, I guess IKEA is a good choice because it breaks down to small pieces very easily, and you can put it back together very easily. Okay, but that's not really what I'm here to talk about today. I wanted to talk about Tbilisi, moving back to Tbilisi. It's kind of a weird, bittersweet feeling. Like, on one hand, I'm really happy to be here. I've got tons and tons of friends here. I've got lots of things to do here. I want to see again, show all of you guys again. Why not? But on the other hand, it's like, it's a city that's always on the verge of collapsing and falling apart. And maybe that's what makes it exciting, that it just manages to chug along and stay upright just in the, it's like a Segway, a Segway is just about to fall over, but there's some sort of mechanism that just keeps it going somehow. And I don't know how that works in Tbilisi because it's just, since we've been here, we had a 1-day water outage. We have lots of little electricity cuts, which you can tell when you wake up because the oven light is flashing, which means also you can't really put on an alarm clock or my alarm clock coffee maker, because it will just reset and we'll miss it. So you have to have it on your cell phone, which is probably why everybody's late everywhere all the time. Maybe. When we got here though, we hit the ground running. It was an empty apartment, so we decided, hey, this is the time to make some changes. Like, we made a hole in a wall. I'll show you a picture of that. We made over there. I'm not really sure which way I'm facing in this new setup. We made a hole in the wall. We sanded the floors. We polished the floors. They put the grout and all the parquet, and it's really beautiful, with that polish now. And it's not the perfect job. I brought up the thing last time, a month ago on our last podcast YouTube video. I brought up that I want to hire somebody because I want to be sure that it's somebody that knows what they're doing, and I have no idea what I'm doing generally. So that's why I would want to hire somebody. I'm usually willing to do it myself, and on that regards, maybe I will. But I also didn't have the equipment. You need this big Soviet sander thing, industrial size sander, which I'll show you a picture of there. And this thing is just, it weighed 1,000 pounds, and it just goes, but it sanded that Soviet parquet smooth. They were made for each other, obviously, because they're both Soviet. And really, the Soviets made a lot of stuff for each other because they only made one thing here and one thing there, and it matched, right? And sometimes the factory would just make one thing, and then you'd never have the match for the other thing. That was a big problem on the Soviet system. Anyways, so yeah, while we were here, that was the time to do it before our furniture came in, which also meant that not only did I not have my camera or a proper setup, but it also meant that I didn't. That's exactly what it meant, that I didn't have a proper setup to make these podcasts or recordings. But now I do. So now we're continuing forward. So that was the perfect time to do it. We even involved the kid. So when you have a kid and you're renovating, you have two choices. Stick them in a school, do all the renovations while they're at school or at daycare, or you can just do it while they're here. And we did kind of a combination of both, and we brought him and involved him in the whole process. So he got to paint, which kind of got messy because he's running around with a paintbrush and it's just like dropping all over the floor, and you got to chase him, and then you're like, dude, stay over the blanket, please. There's new floors. Quit that. So it was a lot of drama, unnecessary drama that we could have avoided by just throwing him in school. But we let him take part anyway. And then we painted his room, and then he took a big part of that as well. If you want to see the video on that, hang on. I'll freeze pause myself and you can watch it here. People coming in that don't really know what they're doing to a master level, or they're not even apprenticing to a master level because they're not even apprenticing to a master. They're just making it up as they go along. Like these guys that did my floor last time we were living in Tbilisi, I could have done a better job. Like really, like with a hammer, with a YouTube video, I would have had it done better. Maybe a hand sander, and some glue and some low padding. But that's the risk you take. You're hiring somebody you don't know. And this is what I fear is the future of America. Like, there's going to be a lot of unemployed people who don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're just going to be set on the loose. And good luck finding the right handyman, right? Because everybody needs a job. And the thing is, like, we have this weird dichotomy of like educated people versus uneducated people. Like this matters because really it matters like what you're able to do. Most professions really aren't more important than the other one. They all fit in the economy somewhere, and we all need them somewhere, whether it's for marketing professionals like myself, or it's like a handyman or like a plumber, or there's no, even a trash person is very sanitation engineer is a very important position throughout the economy, and everybody should be respected and given their due. And I hate this supposed upper class job versus lower class job thing we have going on in America, because it's just not right. We should appreciate even the more manual labor jobs, because those are super important. Sometimes they're more important than the little pencil pusher jobs, and sometimes they make even more money. So really, why are they being denigrated in such a way? I don't know. But anyway, I think there's only so many of those jobs around. When you have masters, and then you have all these other people filling in the cracks who don't really know what they're doing. And you see a similar instance with like graphics design, especially with AI. AI is really opening the what is it called? Lowering the opportunity cost. Like you don't need as much training, you don't need all that in order to be a good graphics designer, because now you have AI. But also you are lacking a skill set in the people that are now pushing these skills, and you're getting subpar work and it's getting a lot harder to choose the right professional to get the better work. And that's going to be the same in the US with regards to manual labor too, because there's going to be a glut as everybody loses their jobs. Yeah, so that's my diatribe. I don't know where I was going with that precisely. So yeah, there's some moving pains to get used to. Now I I told you about last time I was talking about lifts in Belgium, right? I was complaining about how most of them were tiny. You couldn't fit furniture in it, and they wouldn't even let you try to fit furniture in it, and they would give you a fine. And when you have a lift big enough, they still don't let you put furniture in it, or they give you a fine, so you have to throw it out your window. Here in Georgia, the windows are never really big enough to put furniture out of, and when they are big enough, they usually just extend the apartment to hang over the street in some sort of medieval fashion. So yeah, that's not an option. The lifts are really tiny. We live on the 9th floor, and we got a super tiny original Soviet lift. And in the 90s, when the whole economy had collapsed, like the solution to the lift issue, like to maintaining the lift and getting somebody out to maintain it, was to put a coin box in there. And so the guy who was maintaining the lift could be sure he was getting his money. So Now, most of those coin boxes have kind of faded out, except in our lift, of course. Even in our entire building, I think we have like the only coin box in the entire building. It's 5 tetri up, 5 cents, 5 tetri down. So either way, it's which is okay, but you have to have a friggin' lot of 5 tetri. Nobody has, not even banks have 5 tetri now. So you just have to constantly be begging for 5 tetri. I would rather like a chip system or something. Like so that's really annoying. But yeah, I'll show you a picture of this little box. It's so crazy. But that's pretty annoying. The next issue we had to take care of was the schooling issue. The childcare here in Tbilisi is it's not like Belgium where you have, well, okay, in Belgium we had free childcare from 2 years old, and Belgians have it from, I guess, birth, even though they don't need it because they have like seemingly unlimited maternity, paternity care, which is awesome. I'm not criticizing it. But yeah, so they have free childcare here, but it's only till like 1 o'clock in the day. So if you have two parents working, I don't know how two parents are going to work, and they absolutely need to work because the average salary here is like $500 a month. Okay, it's really, really low. It's very hard for local people to get by, especially with the increasing costs on everywhere. Partly because of the war, partly because of other issues, economic issues. So yeah, that's really difficult. I don't know how whoever envisioned, like the Ministry of Education, I don't know how they think that's enough for like enough help for families. Like they need more help. So yeah, in Belgium it was all the way till 6 for the public childcare, and that allowed everyone to work. And of course, ideally in an economy, like there should just be one person working, one person staying at home and able to manage the house and the child. But that's not the modern economy, is it? And here I'm not saying like man or woman should do that, because I'm happy doing that too. I was doing that a lot myself. It can be the man, it can be the woman. I'm not here to discuss gender roles. I don't even believe in gender. I just believe in whatever needs to get done. And whoever can do it can do it. All right. That's my spiel on that. So anyways, where was I? Childcare in Tbilisi. So they do have a private childcare option, which is, the cheapest is like 600 lari a month, which is like half of the salary of a lot of people already. So can you imagine, like if you have a kid, your only option is to do private welfare, like private childcare for both, so that both people can work. But then that's already taking like a quarter of the money from the salaries. Like that's a huge chunk. Like I really don't get how people get by here. Most people luckily own their own apartments, so they're not paying rent. Sometimes they're still living with their parents, and so sometimes you have like 4 people in a household that are working, and that's unfortunately absolutely necessary. Like that's the struggle here, man. That's real. Okay, so we had to take him back to kindergarten. There's that adjustment again, because now we're on number 3, if you remember, number 3 languages. So he has French that he was speaking quite regularly in Belgium, English quite regularly at home, and Georgian sometimes at home, sometimes visiting relatives, sometimes, yeah. But now he's full-time Georgian at school. So he was really adjusting to that. And he's finally, after 3 weeks of just constant support and pushing him and motivation and helping, he's finally adjusted to it and enjoying it. And we're told that he's actually talking to other kids in Georgian. So that's really great. So 3 languages down is awesome. Like if you start life with 3 languages, imagine how easy it is to just pick up more and more languages. And it was something that is very important to me as an American, because I was only taught English to begin with. And then we had the option of high school Spanish for 2 years, but that's really not enough to learn Spanish, especially when it's like an American teacher who is speaking Spanish as a second language. That doesn't help much. Like, and then you're never really in a situation where you're speaking Spanish often, which I wish kind of we were. Like Belgium has 2 languages, official languages, Flemish, Dutch, and French. And yeah, they had some issues, but they also made it work. And like a lot of people are like trilingual, quadrilingual, like people are just speaking languages left and right. And yeah, there's little criticisms. A lot of Dutch people complain that the Walloons won't speak Dutch because, come on, English is a little more important, I think. I'm not gonna get into that debate. I'm out of Belgium now. It's not my debate to have. All right. Anyways, so yeah, that's all the stuff. Now you're all caught up. And coming up next, I'm going to be revisiting a lot of stuff in Belgium, a lot of stuff that I missed that I want to share that I think is awesome because there's so much cool stuff in Belgium. There's all sorts of cool stuff here in Georgia that I'm going to share, and I'm going to revisit Prague sometimes too because it was such an excellent, awesome city. So I'm going to share all those things with you. I'm trying to make this again weekly now that I'm all set up again. Also, I just released a book. Check it out on Amazon. It's a facetious guide to traveling with a kid. Sorry. A facetious guide to traveling with a kid. And it's about a lot of the stuff we learned, all the mistakes that we made, all the fun times we had. And I put it all together into a book and released it for you. So if you're a new parent, if you know a new parent and they want to get back to traveling or they want to travel, then tell them, look, it's okay to travel with a kid. That's a huge... I think it's hugely scary, but with the right training, with the right motivation, I think almost anybody can do it. I say almost anybody because there's obviously an exception to some kids just can't travel, but other kids are just whiny and need to get over the wine hump. I should have used that term in the book, the wine hump. Yes, so you too can get over the wine hump and get traveling. And it's great for your kid, great experiences, lots of new things to learn, lots of new things to see and appreciate. It really doesn't matter their age. I would, of course, recommend after pram age because there's cobblestones everywhere and you got to tank over those cobblestones with a pram, like a pram tank. But they have those, so that's good too. You can. It's never too early to travel. It's never too late to travel. You can always get moving and open your kids' world of experiences, and that's what I'm telling you. So yeah, check out my book. If you're going up to what are those parties Americans have? Whenever they're about to have a kid, baby shower. I've been so long out of the country, I forget all these little peculiarities. Like we don't have baby showers here. Like what a great idea though. It's just like another reason to get gifts, which is cool. Anyways, so yeah, if you're having a baby shower, you need a gift. Boom, right there, book. How to travel with a kid. Get it today. Have a nice day. See you next week.